podcast, guiding every grind, helping detailers make more money, one show at a
time. Doing this is David Elliott from Pearl Nano and calling all detailers. We got Jeff Mallory from Mallory's Detail Shop. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh, it's going.
All right, great. We had a little technical difficulty getting connected here, but we got you on the phone and on video. How are things going, and how did you get into all this?
Things are going as about as good can be expected this time of year where I'm located. How I got into this, I don't really know, to tell you the honest truth. It's just something I've been doing since I was I think we sat down and figured it out. It was either 11 or 12 years old. I started detailing cars. So
wow.
I'm 47. So I've been doing it for a while. On and off.
Yes. And okay, so you're in Michigan and you're having to deal with the weather, and you have a shop, you're fully mobile. What's going on?
No, I just couldn't make it work doing a mobile, I think, where I'm at. Don't get me wrong, there's guys that are doing a mobile, but like this time of year right now, well, it's warm today and it's 37 degrees. The other morning I came out and it was 5 degrees. How do you detail a car in 5-degree weather? I don't want to relearn how to do that stuff. So it was an experiment. When I started my shop, I start playing with some ceramics and whatnot, and I just had to keep turning people down. I didn't have a facility to do it. And when I started keeping track of how many people I turned down, it was over 120 people in the first year.
Wow.
And my parents are like, is there something to this? I'm like, I don't know. So we had a pole barn that we just put up at my parents' place. They're like, let's split it and see what happens. Just put a shop in there and see what happens. I worked it part-time for probably a year and a half, 2 years, and a couple days a week ended up turning 7 days a week. And my wife's like, no, this ain't gonna, you got to choose one or the other. So I'm like, well, let's give it a shot, see what happens. And this will be my 5th year full time.
Excellent. It sounds like it's going great, right?
Through the summer I'm swamped. This time of year it gets a little bit slow. You got to get creative on what you do.
Right. I do work with Rocco Santilli in Connecticut. It also gets pretty cold there as well. He has a couple side hustles. He does car storage. So he has a lot of high-end customers, and he stores cars, and he has all winter to wrap them with PPF or polish them and ceramic coat them. So that's just an idea, something you may want to think of.
We're actually in the works of right now. I'm going to move my shop from my parents' place, and I'm going to build a garage onto my house. And that's where we're going to move stuff. I'm not going to have enough room for storage, but I'm a one-car shop right now. I've got a Chevy Dually sitting in front of me, and when I put that in the shop, there's barely enough room to walk around it. It's a 22 by 32 foot bay is what I'm working out of. So the storage idea is actually a really, really great idea. And I wish I had the area to do it, but yeah, that's just not in the means for me.
Well, I mean, you could look at some, outlying warehouses. He also has lifts, so it's not just one car. He's lifting the Ferrari up and putting this Porsche underneath it, and so he's pretty creative on his spaces. But
I would love to go see that.
Yeah, that's you go see him anytime. Rocco Santilli and RS Detailing in Connecticut. Nice guy, awesome guy. So the other thing that comes to mind is Chris over in Buffalo, New York. He was a marble guy and built a shop, just like you're saying, off of his house, quit his job a few years ago, been full-time ever since, knocks out a car a day, and he's doing fantastic. And that's 716 coatings.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like I do at least a detail a day, make ends meet. Um, I just finished a whole big mess, which set me up for the winter pretty good this year. One of our local co-ops or elevators ended up having a big mess. I think I ended up doing 16 vehicles that had overspray on them and 6 pieces of equipment. And when I say equipment, I had a excavator sitting outside of my shop. I had a brand new dozer sitting out there. Like, it was a mess. But yeah, it's where I'm at. You can't say no to anything. I mean, you got to take whatever. I've done anything from, like I said, an excavator, which is first for me. We're in a farming community, so I'm doing tractors, semi trucks. Um, I've done snowmobiles, motorcycle. Like, if you can get it in my yard, I'll do it, and I'll even come to you to do something too. So it's I haven't said no yet, and it's bit me more than once.
right, right. Well, I just did the podcast with Ian, and he's over in North Dakota, and he's had to go. He's doing all kinds of farm equipment and big balers, and I don't even know the names of some of these machines and forklifts. But
Yep.
then he's into planes as well, and he's consulting with other detailers. He's doing all kinds of different things. He's traveling, and so there's other options out there. I just did the podcast with Rob Torres. He shuts down for the winter in Massachusetts, and then he's going to Florida and doing some awesome stuff in Florida for the winter.
Yeah, I did have an opportunity. One of my good customers up here um has a place down in Florida, and he was trying to get me to come down there, and it's like I don't even know how to bid something like that. And what we came down to agree, or I don't know if we agreed. I didn't end up going, but I'm like, "Hey, listen, this is how much I can make a day in my shop. I I'm guessing it's going to take me this many days. This is what it's going to cost you to get me to come down there." And he's like, "Man, that's kind of expensive." And I'm like, "I got friends down in Florida that'll do just as good a job as me." I'm like, "You don't have to ship me down to Florida to do a couple vehicles." So, um, that didn't end up panning out. Um, and the biggest reason was it was timing. My wife's a CPA, so it was during tax season, and I got 2 boys, and I'm like, it's not gonna work. So
Okay.
it's yep, you can never say no in this business. You got to be willing to push the boundaries a little bit with what you're willing to
Right,
do.
right, right. So tractors, tractor trailers, whatever it is. I mean, you can't fit a tractor trailer in your shop, but in the
No.
summertime, I'm sure you could figure out how to get it done. But so, okay, so let's go to another topic. How are people finding you locally and getting you one car a day?
Um a lot of Facebook posts. I've had I've got a Google business set up with that. That's not professionally done. That's done by me. If you look at it, you'll be like, yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing on this stuff. I've had a guy set up a website for me, but it's always, how do I put it? It's just, it doesn't work out with me and him setting up a website. I have a local kid that's going to start doing all my web work for me. And then I'm in a small community. If you look on a map where I'm at, if you look at Michigan, find Detroit and go 2 hours straight north, which will put you in the thumb of Michigan. So, I mean, this area is not a pass through town. Everybody knows everybody. Yeah, it's not a big area. So a lot of, hey, we'll given deals and word of mouth. Word of mouth is about my biggest up here.
Probably yes, yes, yes. So like the last episode we had Rob Torres, and he talked about his website, and it's just a simple little website. It's a platform called Wix.com, and it has a scheduling feature in there. It just You just go there, click a button, schedule it, just like you scheduled the podcast with me on Calendly, and it works great for him. He doesn't do any advertisement. It's all word of mouth. He goes to a little seaside village there in Massachusetts and does 90% of his business. But other people I talked to, I talked to Anthony in Louisville, and he only does Facebook ads. He has one ad he's run for 10 years. It's in the, and then 90% of his business isn't in Louisville. It is on the outskirts. So he travels an hour each direction, but he'll knock out 5 cars at a time. So what I'm saying is, if you might want to check out Wix.com on the scheduling thing on their little website. If you need help with that, I have my web designer is also here locally that used to work for me, that she could set that up in like 5 minutes. And then check out Facebook ads. You do a simple ad, and he's been publishing that for 10 years. And every time he wants customers, he pushes it and turns it on. He gets a bunch of customers, he turns it off because he's making $1,000 a day on 3 to 4 cars, and he gets to homeschool his kids and that kind of stuff. So these are just
That's
ideas.
awesome.
And it's all, there's all these guys are local, and so may want to think about that is, you have how many people that live in your local area, and everybody's on Facebook. So it pops up and they're like, oh yeah, I need to get the car cleaner. I need to sell the car, and I need Jeff to take care of this. And I heard he's awesome. How do I schedule an appointment with him? Oh, go to his website. It's on the ad, and then you make an appointment. So these are just ways to help you make more money.
Yep.
And that's the whole point of this podcast, is to help detailers make more money.
That would be nice. More money.
Yes. So how about a tip or trick? How about a tool or something that you use in your business that you think everybody should be using to help them save time and money?
Man, I don't want to give away my secrets. I've
There's
I've worked really hard finding all these. I'll give a free one out. And I found it by accident. I also tint windows. That was another thing that I brought in to try to
very good.
Make more money and fill in the downtimes. But one of the things that we use for detail or for window tinting is baby shampoo is what you use to clean your windows and everything else like that.
Mhm.
Yes, there is. I'm sure I'm going to get everybody like, you can't use that. That's old technology. Well, it works for me, so I'm going to keep using it. I just don't like buying the expensive solutions for window tint when you don't have to. The old stuff still works. Well, anyways, I slopped some on a door. And I'm like, well, I gotta get that all mopped out. It actually cleaned the door better than half of the stuff that I use. I'm like, okay, this is weird. So we start playing around with it a little bit more. And for a majority of the stuff, it works for, I would say, 80%. And it's just baby shampoo. It's safe for everything. It doesn't dry out doors like some of your APC stuff does, or damage it. So, and it's stupid simple and super cheap. It's like 6 drops of baby shampoo into distilled water. That's it. Ready to
Yeah.
go. So that would be one of my things that I kind of stumbled across, and we use it a lot. We honestly do. The other thing, um, if somebody's starting out, a decent air compressor and air blowers, the tornadors, you gotta have those. You cannot detail a car without one. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have one, go buy one. You won't regret it. It'll save you a ton of time. Um,
And this is blown
so
out pet hair and crumbs and
here
stuff.
we always do a okay, we bring in a vehicle, we do the door jambs obviously first, and then 2 guys will go in with blowers and start blowing the top of the dashes, any, like you said, dog hair, whatever. let's get the stuff on the floor so it's easier to take care of, or blow it right out of the vehicle. And we do that quick, and then do a quick vac with the tornadors. There's another one that's has a vacuum application to it. Another end, I use that in, like, when you do your final vac, when you're throwing everything back in, it's like done. It's that fast. So
Great.
um, those would be the couple things that I would say, if you're just detailing and not worrying about paint corrections or anything like that, you have to have those.
Right,
It's a
right.
must.
Well, you said something a second ago. Uh, it's a secret or something like that. So back a long time ago, 20 something years ago, I used to talk to detailers, and I always encourage you guys to network with your other detailers, because you may have too much work, or maybe they have too much work and they can give some to you, and vice versa. The tint guys, the PPF guys, the PDR guys, everybody should be networking. And I remember guys a long time ago, but he'll learn my secrets. I'm like, dude, it's a car. How many secrets could you have?
Well, um, I've been struggling with when we put up the new shop. We're going to do a couple fun things. Obviously, it's going to be at my home, so it's easier to set stuff up. We're going to do car shows. We're going to do like a coffee and donuts Saturdays and stuff like that.
There you go.
We've got all the old timers that don't bring out their cars, but maybe once a year, let's see if we can't coax them out to bring them out 5-6 times a year. Actually drive them, enjoy them. But then one of the things I wanted to do was do classes. And everybody I've talked to, as far as family members, oh, Jeff, don't do that. Why would you show them what you do? And I'm like, well, showing them what I do, and have them actually know how to do it, is two totally different things.
Yeah, I
I
totally
might
agree.
I might say paint corrections, whatever. Say if somebody just wants to put a sealer on it with an orbital, I can show them how to do that, and they'll be like, "Man, this is really easy. This is what I'm going to do with mine." Well, now that guy's happy. He's like, "Hey, if you got a problem, go talk to Jeff." And I have no problem talking to customers. And if they come to me and say, "Hey, how do I take care of this?" This is how you take care of it. I try to show them how to do it, or at least tell them. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, "Nah, you can just handle it." I'm like, "Okay, that's
Right.
fine too."
Yeah, yeah. So let me go into that. So you got to look at some psychology. People have expensive cars. They have great ambition, but actually, like you said, they're probably not going to do it, but they would love to think that, oh, I know how to do it. I'll just let Jeff do it. So that's where I think it's a scarcity mindset when you say, oh, well, they might learn what you know. You're the professional. You could go try gymnastics, but until you're a professional gymnastics guy, you're not going to be out there
Yeah,
doing professional gymnastics, no matter how many people you talk to about gymnastics. You know what I mean? So
right.
being the local guy and you teaching people how to do these things, or at least showing them, it shows they're like, oh my God, I was just hiring you to, do my car. I had no idea it takes all this time, effort, energy, tools, products. No wonder you're
And
so
that
expensive.
and that is one of the number one things. And I always like it when people come to the shop, because when I get them face to face, explain to them, hey, this is why this costs so much. When, for example, newer trucks, a lot of cars are switching to this too. They all have that carpet wheel liner. It's a pain in the butt to clean. So if I'm doing a normal pickup, wheels, tires, wheel wells, you're almost 45 minutes to do them right. By the time you
Wow.
get that carpet all washed out, all that, and they're like, "Oh, I get it." Well, so and so down the road is only doing it, charging for 150 to do the whole vehicle. And my comment to everyone that says that is, and I flat out tell them, if you're happy with them, that's where you need to stay, because you're not going to be happy with me. So
Or you know what? I tell those people, hey, you can go ahead. Matter of fact, I got his number right here. I can even make you an appointment and go try, Johnny Wreck My Ride. When you come back, it's going to be double because he's going to swirl that paint even more, and I have to
yeah,
charge you double when you come back. So, or we could just
we
take
do
care of it
have
today.
those. We definitely have a few of those, and I always laugh because he's always mad at me, and he is my best advertisement ever. Like he's nonstop griping about me, um, and it's like that's fine. I mean, I've even tried to work with him in the past, and like, listen, we're in a small area, kind of like back to what you said on networking. I was swamped. Like I was 3 months out. I felt bad for people calling, wanting their stuff done, um, and they need it done because they're going on vacation or they have something coming up that they want a clean vehicle for. And I'm like, I'm only one guy. There's only X amount I can do a day. So I kind of reached out to him about it, and he kind of blew me off. And I'm glad that I did end up not working with a lot of guys for that reason, because what they do and what I do are different. Is what they're doing wrong? Um, I would say no, but it's not what I do, if that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
quality is important and professionalism, and are you following up, and does is a customer super happy? I mean, the minute they're, yeah, I paid you all this
Right.
money, but it's okay, they're never coming back to you, and they're going to tell all
Okay
their
is
friends
not
too.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay is not all right. They like, and that's one of the things I've tried to do over the years. Okay, um, this detail we're like super ahead of schedule. Hey, let's ceramic their glass. Let's do something extra, something we're going too fast through this. Let's make sure they're getting their money's worth. And that's my biggest thing too, because I charge a lot of money for details. I get it. Um if I was a customer, I would have a hard time spending the kind of money that I charge. Um, but by the same token, like I tell everybody else, I'm with your car for almost 8 hours, whether it's me by myself or I got extra guys in the shop. It takes about 8 hours to go through your vehicle and everything done before you get it back. So, I mean, that takes time. That costs money. So,
I
um,
also look at it a different way. Again, we go back to the gymnastics side. You want to learn gymnastics from, just your buddy, that's fine. But if you want to know professionally how to do things, or maybe your kid is into gymnastics, when you talk to a professional, now you got to pay that professional for their time. But again, it goes back to 8 hours. What professional can you hire for 8 hours and them charge you $100? Try getting a
right,
plumber, no matter where you are in the country, a plumber, electrician, anybody to come to your house and do something for 8 hours. There's going to be four figures on there, not just two or three. So,
right. And that's where I'm at. And the only downside, I would be doing a lot better if I wasn't in the area that I'm in, because it's 90% farming up here. Um, and farmers, as a general rule, they're tight with their money, in rightfully so. They never know what the markets are going to be the following season either. So um, I just keep pecking away at those guys, and I can always tell if they had a good year or not, because their wives are bringing in their vehicles to get done. And yeah, we're gonna bring in my husband's too. He doesn't know it, but he's getting his vehicle done too. So they're all happy when they get their vehicles back, but to break into that farming market, that's tough.
it is. It is. Do you do email marketing by any chance? You have email addresses of all your customers?
No, it's pretty much when I get slow, or I know which ones like to have their stuff done regularly. So I'll get a hold of them, say, hey, it's been 3 months. I haven't seen you. You want to get back on the books? Oh yeah, absolutely. I forgot. So it's basically me on the phone. Am I missing out on a lot of that kind of stuff? Yes. but by the same token, the area that I'm in, um, a lot of them don't even look at their emails. They want a phone call. They want to talk to somebody. They don't want to go online and schedule their own appointment. They want to talk to somebody when they're scheduling. Which I don't have a problem for, but I know I'm leaving some on the table for not having that automatic.
Right. So yeah, of course, some of those guys they're going to be older. They're going to be a little bit more tech non-savvy, and they want the old-fashioned pick up the phone and call me kind of thing. I totally understand that, especially in your
Yep.
area.
Yep.
Great, great, great. How about Facebook marketing? Any other marketing to get eyeballs on what you have going on?
Um, I pretty much just do Facebook. I started with TikTok just because I got sick of the before and after. That was the only thing that you could see. I got a couple other buddies that do really, really good on TikTok. I got a guy up by me that paints old refrigerators, and he's got something like 1 million followers or something
Wow.
ridiculous amount. And I'm like, how does that work? He goes, I don't understand how he goes, it was just dumb luck that it took off. He goes, and it just keeps going. And I'm like, so I start playing with it, and he kind of gave me some pointers on how to do it. And I start playing with some videos. Um, but mostly I make the videos on TikTok to move them over to Facebook. Um, and then I ended up finding out some of my music didn't transfer over, blah blah blah. But now it's a long story. But what I found out with Facebook is you gotta put a post out and you gotta be patient with it. You gotta let it do its thing. It's gonna take a week, week and a half. You're not gonna I won't put a post on and expect my phone to ring in the following day. It just don't work like that with my following. I got to put it out there. And it'll take week, week and a half to get the ball rolling on it.
Do you boost the post locally?
Um, I've I've boosted the posts in in the past, but I can't tell you that I benefited it from it or not.
Well,
Um,
one thing that I talk about quite a bit is trying to figure out your top 1 to 3 customers. You know, some it could be if you were in a different location. I mean, I'm trying to think of one in your location. Let's just say a farmer who has the big, F-350. He farming went great this year, and you've done 7 of these in a row from all of his buddies, and you know that there is 200 more out there in the community around your area. So you craft this persona of Farmer Jed, and he has this kind of, and he hangs out over here, and he goes to this restaurant, and he's a member of the FFA, whatever. I'm just making some of these things up.
yeah,
You can dial Facebook in to these things, and maybe Farmer Jed isn't on Facebook, but maybe his family is, and they will see some of these things. So you can
yeah,
dial it into geographic area, likes, interests, and down to almost a single person. So you're not just shotgunning it out. You're literally pinpointing it to the people that you want. What if you only did F-350s? That's all you did. You were the F-350 guy, so I have some guys up here in Portland. They only do Teslas. They do PPF, wrap, and ceramic coatings on Teslas, and they've franchised in, well, last time I checked, they had 6 locations around the country. They don't do other cars. They only do Teslas. So I'm just
how
saying,
I that
you
just
know,
blows my mind that you could live just off doing. Well, funny story is I actually did a Tesla. I put icon coating on it, and it's one of 4 in my area. There's only like 4 Teslas in Huron County. That's it.
wow.
So that tells you how behind the times we are here.
You can't drive down the street for 2 minutes here without seeing 10.
Yeah. So like when I went and got trained to do window tint, I did 3 Teslas for window tint. and I was laughing, and the guy that was teaching me, he goes, "What's so funny?" I'm like, "I just did every Tesla in Huron County. We don't have any more than this." Now, obviously, summertime, because we're more of a resort area, about 7 miles from me. That's where everybody from Detroit's got summer homes and whatnot. It's a different story summertime and holidays, but like on a normal day to day, you just don't see that stuff.
Right, right, right. So I encourage you to dial in the Facebook marketing to a more pinpoint, and then write down your ideal persona. And then I have another thing called the Dream 100, is try to find 100 of the top people in your area. You're like, oh, I could never do his car. Well, maybe you can. So the top rancher, the top guy, the guy that owns the golf course, the top people, you'd love to do those cars on a regular basis. And then you go
Right.
and you try to go get a hold of them. Say, hey, can I talk to Mr. Smith? He's busy. Oh man. So you just keep trying, and finally you're like, hey, I'm the local detailer guy. I know you have a whole car collection. I would love to maintain that for you. Oh, well, Johnny does that. Okay, great. And then the guy calls. Oh, Johnny quit, so I need a guy now. So you just never know. And so there's the persona and the Dream 100. There's a whole bunch of different things out there to get your word out, to gain more customers, and of course make more money.
Right.
So those are some tips for me. So how about we go, before we wrap up here, how about some tips for the up and coming or even the seasoned professional?
Um, well, for the up and coming, um, just because you get a little bit of money and you get a little traction, be smart about it. I think I jumped in a little bit too soon, um, where it bit me. There was a lot of things, and if you've detailed a car, we're problem solvers. That's what we are. We don't know what is on the carpet. You have to figure it out. You have to figure out what the best method. Not everything works. And there's never one stain that's the same, and you got to figure out how to get it out. So just because you make a little bit of money, think about it. There's a lot to it. I mean, when I got started, I never thought about insurance. I mean, so there's another payment and heat and everything. So when you do it, just make sure that you got all your ends covered, and you've dabbled in everything as far as removing scratches. And I've been doing this. I even painted cars. That's what I went to school for, was actually painting cars. For paint corrections, I still run into issues every once in a while. So everything changes with that. A seasoned guy, I guess I wouldn't consider me a seasoned guy yet, as far as professional detailer. I've only been doing this full time for like 5 years. Have I done my fair share? And yeah, I've probably done. I couldn't even tell you how many cars I've done over the years, but I really ain't got nothing for the seasoned guy, because he's already seen it.
Right, right. Well, I would disagree on the season part. I believe you're definitely can be up there in the shelf of seasoned guys. So on the other thing with the new, or anybody actually, and we did talk about this with the on the previous podcast, the 90-day rule. So you may be successful today, and you have nonstop details to take care of. Doesn't mean you can slack off on the marketing, on the posting of before, during, and after pictures, because that 90 days will come up and you're like, wait, the phone isn't ringing. Nobody's emailing me. So you got to it's got to be, do your work, do some marketing. You got to be both those guys all at the same time, because if not, in 90 days, you're going to be wondering where everybody is.
Yep, and I'm guilty of that. This summer it was such a nut house. I had two high school kids in helping me out. I had my part-time guy that's been helping me probably for the last 3 years. I was nonstop like 3-4 months just detail after, like, I couldn't even take a break if I wanted to. Um and I slacked off. I had tons of business, and right now I'm like, why is oh yeah, I really slacked off on my posts and putting stuff out there. So now I'm kind of starting back over, and it's going to take a month, 2 months to get traction again and get that phone ringing and get everything going. So yeah, you're 100% right on that. If you've got a good thing with marketing and stuff, don't stop. Just don't
Yes, yes.
don't stop. Keep it going, because that is your bread and butter. That's what's going to put food on your table. Um so that would be, yeah, I know some of the seasoned guys, they're like, and I run into it too. It's like you can only put so much on Facebook and run this, you're repeating everything you say constantly. And it's like it gets old, but you know what? It's something new. It gets it in front of, if it only gets it in front of one more person that hasn't viewed it, well, that's one more that you haven't had before that's seen your stuff. Maybe, hey, I like his stuff, so like it. Or if nothing else, she goes, or he or she uh go to work and say, hey, I seen this on Facebook, Mallory's Detail Shop, anybody here? And all of a sudden you've got coffee hour, and that's the only thing they've been talking about. So yeah, it's all that little stuff that you have to make. That's almost more important. I wouldn't say that's more important than the details, but that gets the details in the door.
Right, right. And you could pick a problem per car. Let's just say you had that stain that couldn't get out, or it looks like Johnny washes his car with a brick. Do you see these scratches? Film it, put it online, bingo, or say, hey, I'm going to do some stuff with your car while we're, and then they can see their car online. Turn on the camera. It doesn't take much to film that scratch, to film that stain. Here's the guys taking out the stain. Here's the stain afterwards. It literally takes seconds. So it took me time to say it. You could have already filmed it and posted it. And then, by the way, we have a 25% discount, or a $25 discount if you get in here before Christmas. Boom, and you push the button. It doesn't take that much time. It just takes shoot it. And then if I talked about this with people with CapCut on the video editor. Well, I'm not a video editor. Well, they have templates that you download on your phone, and you just push a button, replace picture or video with that stain video, and then
Yeah,
the second one, and then push export, and then push upload to Facebook. It's just done in 20 seconds, and then you're off doing the rest of the car. And people are seeing this. Oh, did
yeah,
you see my car on his Facebook page? And here it is. Doesn't look like he washes it with a brick. Oh yeah, I think I do. And then I'll check it out here. And then Johnny comes in and he's like, wait, that can't be my car. I brought you this scratch looking thing. No, that's your car. We got all the scratches out, ceramic coated. It looks wonderful. What do you think? Oh my God. You guys got to get your car in here too, because this looks amazing. And those kind of
right.
testimonials, just next thing you know, you got to beat off people. Yeah, just like, get away. No, I'm done for the season, or something like that. So
Yeah, it's, and I always gripe about it too, because like I said, my wife's in taxes and stuff, so her busy time's just starting to ramp up right now, and then her slow time is my super super busy time, and it's like I hate going anywhere, because when I come back from a 3-4 day weekend, Mondays are horrible. Absolutely horrible. And so it's like, uh I wish my busy seasoning coincided with hers so we could do more stuff, but that's what you're going to sign up detailing. It's feast or
right.
famine a lot of times.
Right.
It's
I visited Thomas Sanders in Alabama a few years ago, and he was telling me that people, they're so loyal to him that people would buy a brand new Mercedes, and he's like, okay, well, just I'm 4 weeks out. Okay, I'll just park it in the garage. These people park their brand new car in the garage and then take it to him 4 weeks later. I think that's
yep,
mind blowing.
yep. And I do have a few of them like that. Um not Mercedes, obviously. We don't have that kind of caliber of cars. But like I tell everybody else, it's like, well, I'm not driving a Ferrari or a Porsche. And I'm like, how much did you just pay for that Super Duty? Well, it was like 100 and some thousand. I'm like, you're pretty much driving a sports car, buddy. That's you really are. But yeah, I have a few guys that, hey, so and so dealership wants to put a ceramic on my vehicle. And I'm like, I'm begging you, please do the research on it. It we're not comparing apples to apples. So you're gonna spend $1,200 and you're gonna wash it off in 3 months.
It's going
I'm
to be
like, you can't
Sillajet or just it's junk.
I
Total junk.
I- and I actually got kicked out of a dealership. I'm no longer allowed back in that dealership ever again for basically calling them out on it. And yeah, that's a whole nother podcast, trust me.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, that's the and when you're starting out detailing, you got to be careful with that because you do want to have your foot in dealerships for whatever reason. You screw up. Well, perfect example. My son was 15 at the time. He's like, Dad, I want to come help you at the shop. Cool, come on, let's go do it. And we have the power brushes, and he was power brushing the carpet, vacuuming and whatnot. And I'm like, man, that drill sounds weird. And I looked over, and he's just pushing on it for everything he's worth. He was in a Chevy pickup on the floorboard, right where the transmission hump meets the floor pan, right in that corner. And I'm like, that don't work. And he pulled the drill back and he actually killed the carpet. Like there's a perfect 3-inch circle where the carpet was that was just burnt.
Oops.
I called the dealership, said, hey, this is what happened. I need this like yesterday. Next day the carpet was there. They're like, hey, Jeff, your stuff's here. So you want to make sure you're friends with all those guys, but by the same token, you have to make sure your customers are aware of not getting taken advantage of. Don't get scammed by detailers that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Just putting something up to cover up scratches and say, I just gave you a paint correction. No, that's not the case. And we all know those detailers. Car dealerships are kind of number one right off the top of the page. They put that grease on them, man, that car looks really good until you wash it 2-3 times and oh, why are all these cars all scratched? Well, they put a filler on it. That's all there is to it. So yeah, it's another one of those problems that you got to figure out how to do and be still friends with everybody at the end of the day.
Right. And that comes out to education. We talked before, just to sum all this up, educating your customers. I do believe you should have a YouTube channel and you should have your Facebook and Instagram as a minimum. TikTok, I'm not sure where the TikTok makes money, but there it is. People would argue with me on that side to have all of them. It's a lot to have too many of them, but minimum of Facebook and Instagram. But you should also transfer it over to YouTube because that is the second most visited website in the world versus second to Google, and Google owns both. So, but the reason why is because you're the trusted expert of what you're doing. Well, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Now I know why, things we already talked about. Now I know why you're so expensive, because this stuff takes time, effort, and professionalism to figure stuff out. You're a problem solver. So you have a problem, you're the solution. So, that's why people are gonna go to you to solve their problems. Cars cost money. A F-350 Super Duty is going to be $100 and something $1,000. You want Johnny Wreck My Ride to take that wheel and start buffing up and down on that thing and making X-Files holograms in the door? It's like,
I
oh my
only
God.
I only laugh because I've seen it.
Oh,
And we all have, I guess.
that's why I got the name Johnny Wreck My Ride, because there was a shop here and I was picking my son up from basketball, and it was Pride in My Ride. And I just watched him walk up and down with the edge of this rotary and I look at it, and it was just like snakes coming around, like Chinese New Year
Oh
snakes.
my
And
God.
then they got in and they drove it back to the dealership, and I'm like, no, that's not Pride of My Ride, that's Wreck My Ride. So now it's Johnny
Yeah.
from Wreck My Ride.
Yeah. That just makes my skin crawl. It's like, I've seen, I'm starting to do paint corrections and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, go to a junkyard, find a junk hood, mess that up. You gotta mess up a lot to get good at this. It's not, hey, I'm gonna start doing this and I'm perfect. No, you gotta screw up a lot of stuff before you become good at something.
You really do. Yes, yes, yes. And there's a whole other podcast on all of that as well. But let
Yeah.
let's let's button this up. Hey Jeff, where can we find you and your website?
Um, I would say the best place to find me is on Facebook, Mallory's Detail Shop. Um, like I said, I've got it in the works of coming up with a new website and whatnot. But like I said, that's still in the works right now. So,
Okay. Great, great, great. All right, Mallory's Detail Shop in Michigan on Facebook, and a new website on its way. I totally appreciate you being on the show, and we'll see you on the next show. All right.
all right, sounds good.
Calling all detailers, gather around the sound, a place to learn the secrets that will lift you off the ground. Tips and tools and stories shared from shop to shop, helping you grow stronger with each neatly polished drop. Calling all detailers podcast, guiding every grind, helping detailers make more money, one show at a time. From the first rinse of the morning to the final shine at night, the wisdom in each episode will help you get it right. Raise your rates with confidence, let your business climb. Tune in and keep leveling, one detail at a time. Calling all detailers podcast, guiding every grind, helping detailers make more money, one show at a time. Calling all detailers podcast, guiding every grind, helping detailers make more money, one show at